you want to test the alternator's ability to output current, let me show you guys how to use an amp probe to measure the current output of your alternator or charging system. Let's take a look. So if you've done a voltage drop test and you determine that the circuit is perfectly fine, but you're still having a charging system issue, one of the ways you can actually test it is by checking the alternator's current output. One of the ways of doing so is by either using an ammeter, which has its deficiencies, because an ammeter can only sustain upwards of 10 amps. After that, it might blow the fuse. The other thing with a voltmeter, if you're using it in amperage, you need to open the circuit and put your meter in series, which again is going to be added work, and there's a high probability you can even fix the problem you're trying to test. One of the better ways of doing so is by using an amp probe like the FNIRC DMC 100. This is one of the amp probes we use here in the shop. We also use the ES688 and we use the PDI amp probes that go with our lap scope that you can see here in the back. When I don't want to pull out the lap scope and I just want to get a good amperage reading, I'm going to use a handheld unit like you can see here. This unit is pretty badass. It does give you amperage for DC, amperage for AC, and it also has ports for a DVOM. So it's a pretty handy tool. The one thing you want to remember with this tool is if you are going to be using it on the power side, then you're going to make sure you put it around all the wires. Now, whenever you're using an ammeter, you also want to remember that they are directional. If you install it backwards, you're going to get a negative current reading. Not a big deal. That just means that current is flowing the opposite direction. If when you install it and you get a positive readout, you're in the right spot. Then at that point, just start turning on some loads. So you can add this to start the car up. The car we're gonna be testing is a 4-cylinder. That would mean if I wanna test the starter current draw, I could put this on the battery, either positive or negative. That's the beautiful thing about current. Doesn't matter which side, you're gonna get a reading. And I can crank it on a 4-cylinder between 100 to 150 amps while the engine is actually cranking. Once the vehicle is running, I can put this around the charging cable and I'm expecting somewhere around 40 to 50 amps. The more loads I turn on, the higher the amperage is gonna be because the alternator has to push out more current to overcome those particular loads. Let's go out to the car, let's hook this bad boy up. This way you guys can see the current draw while we're starting the car. Then I'm gonna show you guys the current draw while the alternator is charging, and I'll be adding some loads so you guys can see the difference. Let's go take a look. So first things first, we wanna go ahead and make sure we're in amps DC. And then once I get it near the circuit, I'm gonna zero it out. The reason you wanna do that is this way you can zero out any noise that might be near the actual probe so it doesn't interfere with your actual signal. So we'll hit that, we're zeroed out. Now we'll go ahead and put it around the ground wire. Now, why did I decide to go on the ground side? Most of the time, the ground side has the least amount of wires, much easier to actually clamp around, and it's usually just one wire. So it's much easier to do that on that side. Now, let me go ahead and start the car up so then we can monitor to see how much current draw we had as the engine began to spin over on this 4-cylinder. So just like I mentioned, we were seeing somewhere around 120 amps while this 4-cylinder was cranking. The old school methodology was 100 to 150 amps for a 4-cylinder while it's cranking over. So that was telling me that that was a good crank over of this 4-cylinder engine. So now let's go ahead and take our amp probe and put it on the charging system. So this way you guys could see how much current we're actually getting coming out of the alternator. Also, before I forget, you guys might have noticed that it was a negative reading. That was because I had to face the amp clamp up so that way you guys could see the screen, but it still gave you an actual readout. Not a big deal, just means that the amp was oriented in the wrong direction. Let's set it up for the charging system. All right, so right now, guys, if you notice, we're pushing out around 37, 36 amps. When the AC compressor turns on, initially we're gonna get an inrush of current. Current's gonna actually go up. What I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna turn on the high beams, so this way you guys could see the actual current flow change. So right now, high beams are coming on. Notice how we went up to around 47 amps. Then when I turn them off, that amperage is gonna go back down. So this is a good way for you guys to determine if that charging system is doing what it should be doing simply by monitoring the actual current coming out of the alternator using an amp probe. It's that simple, guys, just to check the current output of the alternator or to verify if the engine is drawing the right amount of current. One of the ways to do it is by using a standalone current clamp like my Fnirsi DMC 100 that I got right here. Now, if you guys are more advanced users, you'd probably end up using a lap scope, which you can see right back here. I use both. Depending on the situation, if I need to get a good visual representation, I'm pulling out the Pico. But in most of the time, if I'm trying to do something relatively quick, just so I can rule it out as good, I'm gonna go for my Fnirsi DMC 100, because that's gonna help me really quickly see where my current flow is. And like I mentioned earlier, in case you guys missed it, on a 4-cylinder, it's 100 to 150 amps while the system is cranking. And then if you guys noticed, whenever I turned on the load, we had more current output from the actual alternator. YouTube statistics are telling me that about 80% of you guys don't subscribe and don't follow. I know this information was super useful because you've made it all the way to the end of the actual video. Do me a huge favor, give us a like, a follow, share this video so we can continue to better the automotive industry one technician at a time. We're trying to clean up our act. People don't trust us. Let's change that, guys. The way to do so is by sharing these types of videos. So this way we can help other technicians learn these types of tests to better our testing abilities and repairs out on the road. If you want to purchase your own DMC 100, make sure you guys check out the link in my bio. This way you guys could pick up your own. Also check our student store where we got a lot of MAT merch, and any purchases from either one, those profits go back into the labs so we can purchase tools, equipment, and continuing education for all our educators. I really appreciate you guys being here to the last minute. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one.